Top Dog seemed like he seemed like he's super calculated and just a gentleman. You know what I mean? And those are the type of street dudes I always respect. And I wanted to ask you, do you have any Top Dog stories behind the scenes that you say this is like the character of this man? This is something that you could point to and say this is the type of man that Top Dog is outside of all this.
Outside of all of this, oh, that's a great question. Outside of this battle or outside of music?
Outside of music, just as a man, this is who he is, and this defines why he's successful right now. Because what he's been able to do is special. What he's been able to do in music and have all those big personalities from different neighborhoods, whether it's
Mhm.
Q, J Rock, you feel me, Kendrick, and then be able even on the R&B side with SZA and you know that's what he does is huge, and
Sure.
I'm sure
Yeah,
it's
he's
hard to
he's
do.
like he's like yeah, that's all about managing personalities.
Hmm.
Outside of music, you know what? I don't know if there's a story outside. That's a great question. Like he's done dope stuff outside of music. Like
Hmm.
I just, I mean, we've been living this life. I don't think we've had it outside of music.
Mm.
For the last 20 plus years, I don't know, because Top got children and shit,
Right,
So
right,
besides consistently being a father, which
right,
should be standard, you know what I mean? But even though he's
right,
been in the music business, he ain't let none of that go a half of an inch. He was a dad the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like a real pops. Like,
right.
so like, yeah, I'm do this label thing, but I'm a dad too. Like, he
Hmm.
never swapped off none of the time. But Top is just like one of them dudes, man, that's genuine, stand by his word.
Hmm.
Um, we got the same number. Since we first met, we got the same two phone numbers.
That's
You know what I
crazy.
mean? The only person got the same number, like we got our same number, is DJ Head. Head.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's like he's just one of them really good dudes. Like I can't really pinpoint it. He's a man. You feel
Right.
me? Like he's a man by definition. He gonna walk it like he talk it, and nothing is gonna make him sacrifice nothing else. He gonna stand by it all the time. If he fuck with you, he really fuck with you.
Yeah. Where do you place him as far as executives? Let's do West Coast executives uh in the music business. Like where do you rank him? When you have the Suge Knights, you have, you know what I mean, Top Dog, like in those West Coast executive seats. Who where do you rank him at as far as what he's been able to be to do?
That's a great question. So, obviously you want to put Suge really high up there, right?
Hmm.
Because he probably had the greatest run, right? Of all as far as time period of just smashing shit. Like you go from the chronic to doggy style to all eyes on me. That's just
Hmm.
insane.
Hmm.
Um, you want to put Easy there because he's pretty much the first.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? He's pretty much the first. And you don't get Ice Cube or Dr.
Right.
J or DOC or none of this shit without him. So you don't get that. And then he turned around when he lost one great group, he puts together another first ballot Hall of Fame group and Bone Thugs Harmony.
Hmm.
Um
Yeah, easy
Top,
up there.
I mean, you could probably put Top number one. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like it's Mac 10 is up there with Who Bang, and Ice Cube is up there with the stuff he's done. But you know what make Top really special in this conversation? And I guess it would be, I hope Pops don't get mad, but I would say Top, Easy, Suge, right?
Okay.
And the reason I would say Top, Easy, Suge is what make Top hard to fuck with is Top is having a top notch success with like an R&B pop combination like SZA.
Hmm.
So like, not only do you break Kendrick Lamar, who's obviously looks like the greatest hip hop artist of the last 15 years,
Yeah.
12 years, whatever. I mean, then you break SZA, who's like this phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough.
It's hard to
Um,
do. It's two
yeah.
different genres, two different
Two
necessities.
different worlds.
Hmm.
Um, Mine is what he was able to do with J Rock. He got J Rock,
Hmm.
no matter how long it took, it got him to a platinum plaque, gold plaque,
Grammy.
Grammy, key to the city.
Hmm.
I mean, that's crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then SZA.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
I ain't even
worked.
talking about what he's able to do with Q or Soul or none of this
Hmm.
other dope shit or the Black Panther soundtrack, because just going from that to this is crazy. And I put Easy because he did a great job with Miss Chalet. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So that's dope. Suge, to me, he got probably the two greatest artists of all time out of it. You know what I mean? With Snoop and Pac.
Hmm.
But they all got really great artists. You know what I'm saying? It's just the spread cause of doing both of them.
Yeah.
And like, you know, from the inside, you hear conversations. SZA is upset and she ready for her album come out. But then, you know, it's like, how do you argue with this dude, you know what I mean, who just did this with Kendrick Lamar?
Right.
And then when he actually happens, it ended up being the greatest thing in the world. So in the back of her mind, she got to be like, shit, how could I argue with this motherfucker?
Right.
Because
Right.
he batting. So this motherfucker, first Hall of Fame at bat. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He got a feel for it that's special. You know what I mean? He got a feel for it that's really special.
Yeah. He got to have some type of like amazing leadership just to have everybody just like, man, we gonna wait on you. Whatever you say, OG, like we don't like it, but we gonna listen. You know what I mean?
Man, it don't come like that.
Nah.
It ain't about you know, it's a lot more Phil Jackson than you could imagine. Motherfuckers be asking for trades and all kind of shit. So it wasn't like, you know, I'm sure I know for a fact it had its problems, but to be able to regroup and reorganize everybody is impossible.
Yeah.
And people don't know how much work it is doing what that nigga do. Him and Punching them, they do a lot of shit. Moosing them, they do a lot. Like I watched them help that kid up from Carson. You know, like he talking shit on the major platform about them, and you have to deal with all of this shit. Reason, shout out to Reason, yeah. And like I watch situations happen in the streets. You know what I mean? Like, so it's been a balancing act. You know what I'm saying? And it's really impressive because the nigga ain't gave up an inch.
And you don't never hear no crazy story about him, like where somebody outside of that situation you just referenced, you don't really hear too much where somebody's saying something against him. And I think one of the greatest things that he's accomplished is all that success without the internal fighting. You know what I mean? Because we've seen that mistake with Death Row where they be in there fighting each other.
Oh, them niggas fight.
But we don't see it.
Yeah, he definitely got a program that's ran correctly. Yeah, and this guy, bro, he's a blessed person. Outside of his outstanding stuff, man, he just like one of them dudes that's good. So I know God, he's in God's favor in another way. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's tough. He deserve it all. He been stomped down with this shit the whole time. He ain't never like faltered. He always stayed down with them.
A lot of people don't see that. They don't see the behind the scenes, all the work that goes into this. And it ain't no today and tomorrow type of success. Nah, it's 10, 15, 20 years of work.
Oh man, like I heard Drake, you know, they referenced in that push-up songs 50%. I'm like, he didn't have Dot for 6 years before Dot probably was worth money.
Thank you.
And you know, for years and years and years. So, you know, I think it's easy for a lot of people, especially a lot of artists, to talk shit about somebody until you know the depth of their story. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why they skip it what it is.
Yeah. You think we see Kendrick Lamar the same way without Top?
No, it's different. It's completely different. I mean, I don't think it's even possible. I think God made that situation the reason he made it for that reason.